Welcome to Pony Wars. In our last episode, you got to see our Mustang and our Camaro battled out around the road course and down the drag strip. The competition can't get any tighter than it is. The Camaro's at 5 points and the Mustang is at 4. The $5,000 builds, budgets, and racing is completely finished. In this episode, we get to see the $15,000 build done on our Mustang. And guess what? A ProCharger is getting strapped down under the hood and it's gonna make a bunch of power. At the end of the episode, we're gonna strap it down to our chassis dyno and see how much power we can make safely on the stock internals. But for now, let's get to the parts. Welcome back to the Horsepower Wars Tech Center. I'm here again with Steve Turner, the builder of our 2017 Ford Mustang GT, and we're talking about the $15,000 budget and the parts he chose and why he chose them. So Steve, walk me through some of these parts, why they're important, why people should know that these parts are awesome and cool.
Sure. Well, as you know, in the 5K, I really focused on the engine, adding a lot of horsepower, and the rear suspension, trying to hook that horsepower up at the drag strip. The cornerstone here is that we're going with big boost, hoping to double the output of this car, take that Camaro down in every possible phase that we can. You can't just strap on a supercharger and hope for the best. You have to have a complete supporting cast. Important to that is fueling it. So we're adding these DEATSCHWERKS 1200cc injectors, this JMS fuel pump booster, and that's going to give us enough high octane fuel to make this thing produce a lot of power.
We're doubling the amount of power. We're trying to double the amount of power, right, Steve? And that requires way bigger fuel injectors, a fuel pump modification of some sort, and that's exactly what those DEATSCHWERKS parts are going to do.
Let's say we make all that power. Let's say we reach our goal. That's going to stress some other areas of the vehicle. So we're adding some GFORCE half shafts that are built to withstand this kind of power, and we're adding this carbon fiber drive shaft from QA1. We've got a combination built to withstand the power, to make the power, then we have to put the power down to the ground. We're totally revamping the suspension with a full line of parts from STEEDA, everything from sway bars, adjustable front dampers, but we're really shoring up the IRS completely, adding links with stiffer bushings, really getting all that under control so that when we're out there on the drag strip, we'll be able to put that power down. And when we're out there on the road course, we'll just be able to fly around, keep it flat out, really make the most of that boosted horsepower. As I mentioned, we're testing and braking. The Mustang did pretty well the first time, but we'd like to keep that advantage. So we're adding these stainless steel brake lines from STEEDA because the factory lines are rubber. They can swell out when they're under pressure. You don't want to lose that. And we're also adding some two-piece rotors from Bear that will lighten up the front end a little bit and improve our braking. So I'm hoping that we'll hold our advantage there because we're going to have more power when we go into that faster. We need a little bit better braking, right? And obviously, the centerpiece of the entire package is going to be a big ProCharger, right?
ProCharger is kicking both cars' supercharger setups.
The D1X is 1,000 horsepower capable, 9-inch housing supercharger. It has a 4.1 internal gear step-up ratio and a 62,000 max blower RPM. The reason why I think the teams picked the D1X over the other two superchargers is that the D1X kind of fits the middle range of horsepower that you're trying to hit with these cars. The F1884, being a 1,200 horsepower capable supercharger, is a little bit more than most guys will need on the street. The Mustang has the Stage 2 intercooled kit, 1,200 horsepower race intercooler, has the race bypass valve, and the dedicated 8-rib. For a stock or fairly stock car, a shared 6-rib drive system is plenty good, pretty much all you'll ever need. However, when you go to turn the thing up, you want to make more horsepower. The dedicated drive just offers you more flexibility in regards to belt and pulley options.
Steve is looking to make double the amount of power, double. So we're going to go from more than 400 at the rear tires, hopefully, and get 800, right?
We're stepping up to the D1X, and the whole X series of superchargers is really designed around today's modern high-revving engines like the Coyote. And those two things, they go together like this. That's one of our real advantages with the Mustang and Pony Wars. Coyotes love boost. And the D1X is really going to make that power at the top of the tack. And we're adding the race intercooler because obviously you want to keep the boost cool and make the most horsepower, but we're not only running these for, few seconds on the drag strip, but we're gonna be flat out on the road course, wide open for a long time with a lot of boost. We wanna keep things as cool as possible during that, so it'll survive, beat the Camaro, everyone's happy, wonderful day.
Steve's strategy focused more on handling and suspension. With the ProCharger kit and all of the upgrades, Steve ended up spending $14,983 of the total $15,000 budget he was given to spend at summitracing.com. Now let's see how it does on the dyno. We have a ton of awesome sponsors for Horsepower Wars, and one of them is QA1. They will help you manage all of the horsepower that your car is making. They have everything from adjustable upper and lower control arms to single adjustable shocks and even double adjustable full-on coilovers. And they have this awesome carbon fiber drive shaft. We put one of these into our Pony Wars Mustang, and it is definitely gonna make it go faster down the track. So if you need any help with power management in your car, give QA1 a call. But for now, I'm gonna go take this carbon fiber drive shaft and put it in my car and make it faster. The install on our 2017 Mustang is completed, and we're ready to get it tuned on our dyno jet. We're starting with a 91 octane tune to build a baseline, then we're really gonna lean on it with VP Racing MS100 in the tank. We've already spent a few hours working on the 91 octane tune. Now we're ready to make one more big power run.
If we can make high 600s on California 91, I think we're doing really good, because that's asking a lot out of the fuel.
The bypass valve's so loud. Let's see what it made. We have learned that Coyotes respond really well to boost. Pump gas made 660, low 500s on the torque. It's strong. It's going to be hard to beat. I'm not going to lie. It's a potent combination. That D1X and that Coyote like each other a lot.
I'm really excited to see what it's going to do. Is it tomorrow on the better fuel? Yeah, it's you guys are going to be surprised what it really.
Our Mustang just made 660 horsepower to the rear tires on pump gas. That's more than a 250 horsepower gain. But now we're going to put VP Racing 100 octane fuel into the tank and see how much we can make with that.
So last time when we were tuning, we're doing remote, we had Matt remote tuning this. Now we have you guys here in person. Yeah. What's the difference between that?
Well, you know, for a tuner, you know, speaking for him a little bit, I think that they like to be in the car. The data viewer software and with the CMR tuning software really gives them a pretty good snapshot of everything that's happening just in a digital form, you know. So realistically, I think that in terms of potential and horsepower and how effective they are at tuning the vehicle, it's about 6s. It may just happen a little faster if they're in person. The i3 actually has a cool feature where it can data log and save the files on the device itself if you don't have a laptop with you, or you use it as a pass-through with the data viewer software.
Changing out the 91 water to 100 octane unleaded, that's going to let us run a lot more ignition timing. So I'm hoping for it to pick up somewhere around 100 horsepower to the tire range.
With VP Racing's MS100 in the tank, we're hoping for huge amounts of power out of this Coyote. Steve said he expects to see more than double, that's right, double what it did stock, and that is massive. The reason for this is because Coyotes respond to boost so well. The ProCharger D1X flows more than 1,500 CFM and supports more than 1,000 horsepower. That's a ton of air and a lot of power. Let's see how she responds.
It made 710 basically, 709.89, and 531 pound-feet of torque. So it's making some numbers, man. Low boost.
It is the lowest boost pulley that we have.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it at that.
It's time for more boost. For this run, we're switching from the lower boost 4.63-inch pulley to the 4.38-inch pulley to spin the D1X even harder.
Nothing to see here, move along. I don't like guys running the dyno going, oh!
Two more things.
It's a lot of 8s. 802 and 582. That's strong.
There's probably some more in it. We gotta stop somewhere.
I mean, yes, we do.
I tried advancing the camshaft, the intake cam, didn't want that, put it back. This time I put 2 more degrees on the exhaust cam, responded, but only in a very small area. So we're right there, we're splitting hairs at this point in time. So 809 is the peak number on 15 PSI.
I'm not scared yet, not yet.
809 horsepower at the rear tire was the final number from our Mustang. That was as far as the tuner wanted to push the stock internals, and it is a massive number. It's more than double, that's right, double what it made with the $5,000 budget, but the real question is, will the Camaro be able to beat it? You just saw our Mustang put down 809 horsepower to the rear tires, and that number is huge. Coming up in the next episode, we're gonna put the same $15,000 into our Camaro, and a ProCharger is gonna get strapped to that bad girl as well. And guess what? At the end of the episode, we're gonna strap it to our chassis dyno and see how much power it can make. And that's coming up next time on Pony Wars.